When king cobras detect baboon troops, they leave, before any contact at all. To understand why baboons represent such a specific problem for king cobras, you first need to understand what makes the king cobra so dominant everywhere else. The king cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, is not just a large venomous snake. It is a specialist predator that has spent millions of years evolving to occupy a very specific ecological role. Its primary prey is other snakes, including other venomous species. It is one of the only predators on Earth that routinely hunts and kills animals carrying weapons capable of killing it. And it does this through a combination of speed, precision, and a venom delivery system refined over millions of years to overwhelm the nervous systems of its targets before they can respond effectively. A king cobra strike is not simply fast, it is accurate at distances that most prey animals cannot account for. The snake can raise its forebody high enough to strike at the face and neck of a standing adult human. Its fangs deliver a venom cocktail containing powerful neurotoxins that begin disrupting the nervous system within seconds of injection. And unlike most venomous snakes that bite and release, the king cobra frequently holds its bite, delivering a larger venom dose than a single puncture would allow. Against solitary animals, this system is essentially without flaw. The prey either avoids the cobra entirely, or it does not survive the encounter. There is very little middle ground. And this is why, across its entire range, the king cobra sits at the top of its food chain with no meaningful predatory pressure from any other species, until it encounters a baboon troop. Part 2. What baboons bring to the encounter. Baboons have been living alongside venomous snakes for millions of years, and that coexistence has not been passive. It has been actively shaping baboon behavior, cognition, and physiology in ways that researchers are still documenting today. The first thing that makes baboons dangerous to a king cobra is their alarm system. Baboon troops maintain a continuous, distributed awareness of their environment through a sophisticated communication network that includes specific vocalizations for different threat types. And snake alarm calls in baboon troops are not generic danger signals. They are precise enough that troops respond differently to venomous snakes versus non-venomous ones, and differently again to large constrictors versus strike-range threats. This level of threat discrimination means that when a king cobra enters a baboon troop's range, the troop does not simply react to it as a generic danger. It categorizes it, communicates its location, and begins a coordinated response calibrated specifically to the threat a large venomous snake represents. And because baboons maintain this awareness collectively across dozens or hundreds of individuals simultaneously, the cobra cannot approach without being detected. The stealth that makes a king cobra effective against solitary prey, the ability to move quietly and strike before a target can respond, simply does not function against an animal that has 30 or 40 pairs of eyes tracking its position at all times. But detection is only the beginning of the problem the baboon troop creates. Part 3. Why the cobra's weapons fail. The king cobra's defense against threats it cannot avoid is its hood display. When threatened, it spreads the ribs behind its head into a wide, flattened hood, raises its forebody, and produces a deep, hissing sound that is lower in frequency than most snake sounds, and specifically effective at triggering fear responses in mammals. This display stops most animals. Lions avoid it, buffalo retreat from it. The raised hood communicates with complete clarity that what is in front of you is capable of killing you, and that the cost of proceeding is potentially fatal. And baboons do not respond to it the way every other large mammal does. Researchers observing baboon interactions with large venomous snakes have documented a behavior that appears repeatedly across different troops in different regions. When a baboon encounters a snake in hood display, rather than retreating, it begins a specific harassment pattern. It moves laterally. It throws objects, small stones, sticks, debris, at the snake from outside strike range. It vocalizes continuously, drawing other troop members to the location. And critically, it treats the raised hood not as a warning to avoid, but as a targeting reference that tells it exactly where the snake strike is going to originate. The king cobra's hood, the display that has ended encounters with every other large animal in its environment, helps baboons locate the danger zone. And once the troop has assembled, the cobra faces a problem its venom was never designed to solve. It can strike one target at a time. A troop can attack from 8 directions simultaneously. The math does not work in the cobra's favor. A single bite might end one baboon, but delivering that bite requires holding position while 7 other animals close from angles the strike cannot cover. The king cobra's entire offensive capability is built around the single, decisive blow that ends the encounter before the prey can respond. Against a coordinated group that absorbs the first strike and continues attacking, that capability becomes almost irrelevant. Part 4. The physiological factor. There is one more element that makes baboons specifically problematic for venomous snakes, and it operates below the level of behavior entirely. Research into primate physiology has found that several species of Old World monkeys, including baboons, carry genetic variants that provide partial resistance to certain classes of snake venom. The specific mutations affect the neuromuscular receptors that neurotoxins target, reducing the binding efficiency of the venom and slowing its systemic effects. This resistance is not complete. A direct, full-dose bite to a vital area would still be lethal in most cases, but partial resistance changes the encounter in a significant way. It means that a glancing strike, a bite through fur to a non-critical area, or a partial venom delivery may not produce the immediate incapacitation that the cobra's entire hunting strategy depends upon. And baboons that have been struck but not incapacitated do not retreat. They continue the engagement. They continue drawing other troop members in, and they continue creating the multi-directional threat environment that the cobra has no answer for. This is why the cobra leaves before the encounter begins when it can. Not because it cannot kill a baboon, it can, but because killing one baboon in the presence of a full troop does not end the threat, it escalates it. And the king cobra, for all its individual weaponry, was built for a world of solitary engagements that end cleanly. A world where the hood goes up, the threat retreats, and the encounter is over. Baboons never got that message, and the cobra, over generations of encounters that did not go the way every other encounter in its range went, learned to read the signs of a troop's presence and make a different calculation entirely. The most dangerous snake on Earth does not avoid baboons because it cannot kill them. It avoids them because killing one costs more than the encounter is worth. And that calculation, made by an animal with no capacity for abstract thought, is one of the most elegant examples of learned behavior in the natural world. If collective intelligence overcoming individual weapons is what keeps you watching, our last video is the purest version of that story ever filmed. Watch baboons tear a spotted hyena to shreds next. One of Africa's most powerful predators, completely dismantled by coordination alone. It was over in 4 minutes, and the hyena never found a single moment where its individual strength meant anything